Going to show you how to use another nice tool to easily make nice looking brain contrast overlays for figures that you might want to use in your manuscript. You can use MRICroGL as I showed you before, or you could use SPM12. You could do your settings in those softwares and then take snapshots. Sometimes though, you might have like many contrasts or many subjects that you might want to take snapshots and then to view these outputs easily or conveniently so that you get a picture about your data. All right. So in many cases, this would involve some level of scripting, and one good tool to use is the slice overlay function. I'm going to show you how to do that now here in my command line, Matlab command line. Let me just clear the screen here by typing CLC. All right, I'm going to type the function, the variable called SO, which is slice overlay. That's what it stands for. You can choose A, B, C, whatever variable name you want. I'm just going to stick with SO here. And I'm going to make that variable equals to a function called slice SL overlay. SL over. Some people might say slover or SL slover. It's basically slice overlay. That's what it means. And you're going to invoke the parameter to use this function in its basic user interface mode, which is what I've done here. You're going to type SL over, in parentheses, you're going to put basic in single quotes, basic underscore UI. Remember to put the semicolon at the end to silence the output. If you don't, you'll see the output. It's not really a big problem. We'll probably deal with it later. But in terms of having a nice command line here, you just want to silence the output by putting the semicolon. I'm just going to hit enter here. And it's going to ask me, what images do I want to display? So if I want to do the same thing as I did before with MRICroGL, which is I want to show the MNI template at the bottom, and then I want to have a positive image and then the negative SPMT image on top, then I'm going to have to choose at least 3 images. The first image right at the bottom will be the template image, the MNI template. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead to go to SPM12. I'm just going to choose the canonical MNI template T1, which is the 152 T1 Nifty right here. And it's going to be selected. And then I'm not just going to click done, because I'm going to overlay on top the SPM number 13 of the P31 minus P32 contrast. In this case, I'm going to use the contrast that I've saved previously. So the one that has been thresholded at 532 voxels. And then also, I'm just going to, for the sake of exercise, I'm also going to choose the SPMT number 13. And to show you that I can also do it twice, I'm going to click edit, and I can do copy and paste. And in this case, so I've selected 4 images. Okay, I've played around with this, and I've chosen the first one as the T1 image, the second one as the thresholded T image, the third as the original T image that hasn't been thresholded, and the fourth as also the same unthresholded T image. I'm just gonna unselect the second one now, because this is just to show you like how to use this as a slice overlay. You can select many images at a shot. All right, but really what I want to do now for now is I want to show you how to use SPM13 to show it as a positive overlay on the MNI template, the T1 template, as well as a negative overlay on the T1 template. So I've selected SPMT13 twice here, and I'm going to click done now. And it's going to ask me what type of image is the first image? Well, the first image is a T1, so it's structural. So I'm going to highlight structural here. Then it's going to ask me what's the second type of image. And in this case, it's SPMT. It's a contrast, and it's going to show me a blob, which is like a blob of functional activity in the brain. So I'm going to click blob here. And I'm going to use the color theme hot, which is kind of like warm and reddish. And I'm going to use my thresholds. I'm going to use the same thresholds that I use in MRI Curl GL before, which is 3.93. And the maximum, I'm going to set it at 6. And the next one is also going to be, the third image is also going to be a blob. Remember, I selected 3 images, and the third image is SPMT 13 as well, which is going to be a blob. But in this case, I want it to be a negative image, so I'm going to use a winter color theme. And I'm going to use negative 3.93 with negative 6 as its minimum to maximum ranges. And I'm going to select Excel slices. I'm just going ahead and use all these slices. But you can go ahead and change this range if you want to, if you don't want so many slices. And in this case, you'll see the whole brain. You'll see the left IFG very clearly as a region that is warm and red because it's a positive effect. But if you notice, there might be some blue specks in the ventricles and around that area, all right, which is in the scheme of the winter color because those are the negative voxels. Different contrasts might show you different, positive and negative effects. In this case, this is what it looks like. You can go ahead and change the number of slices that you're showing here, and this is the power of using slice overlay, because as I've shown you, the point here is that you might want to script this because you want to do this repetitively. So how do we do this? Well, if you go back to the command window and you notice that I've entered right at the start, I've put slice overlay basic UI as an entry into the variable SO. So SO is a variable that you can modulate, and then you can then update the figure that you will produce. How do we do that? Well, for example, if I didn't want all those number of slices, I want to just change it to slices, just a few slices. I would change SO, the entry slices here. How do we do that in Matlab is to do SO.slices. Right now, you can see that the field slices in SO has 1 by 91 entries, which means it has 91 slices. I'm going to change it so that I only want slice negative 40, negative 30, 10, and 20. So I should only have 4 slices in my next figure that I'm going to draw. How do we do that now? I'm going to put the SO variable will now be a painting of the current SO variable that I've kind of changed and updated. All right. So you're going to have to familiarize yourself with this computing logic. What I've done is changed SO slices to be minus 40, minus 40. I'm sorry, I have the typo, but it will show the same slice twice in this case, and slice 10 and slice 20. And it's going to paint this new setting and put that new setting into a new SO. It's going to replace the original SO. If I hit enter now, I don't forget my semicolon here. If I hit enter now, I will see 4 slices, and 2 of the slices will be the same, and the next will be slice 10 and slice 20. All right. So this is how we use SO and slice overlay. So suppose I want to change the image, one of the image. Remember, I've selected 3 images. The first one being the T1. And then I select the SPM 13, T13, and SPM T13 as the second and third volumes or the images. I can change that. I can change image 2, and I'm going to see what's in image 2 right now. It has the field volume, and the way to change image 2 is to change the field SO.image number 2 .volume .f name, and you're gonna update it into, let's say you didn't want to show slice number 13. Let's say you want to show slice number 12. Volume number 12, SPM 12. You're going to put that in quotes because it's a string, and it will just basically update this SO variable so that volume number 2 is the SPMT 12 nifty. And similarly, you can paint it, and it will update the contrast so that it's 12, slice 12, rather volume SPMT number 12 rather than SPMT number 13. So if you are familiar with coding, you're going to know how you can use for loops or if loops to kind of work the SO variable and paint it, and so you can generate many nice looking images at a time.